see if this is coming through. I hope it is. Let me see. Hopefully it is. All right. Yeah, it should be. All right, shalom, everyone, and welcome to Jaw Radio as Kazakh Aliyahu here. Once again, we are back for yet another Shabbat teaching. Shabbat shalom to everyone. We are a little bit early because of load shedding. So this is not the time we're usually on. We are here now 1 hour earlier. Okay, so thank you and welcome. As you see at the top of your screen, a famine of the word, the simple, fools, mockers, and believers. Some words there that are going to bring out some things for us as we look towards the end of days and we look towards prophecy fulfillment. Some words there that should give us some insights and open up our eyes. All right, just remember we are 24/7 live radio at jawradio.org, JAWRADIO.org. And our videos are posted on our video website, justaword.tv. And remember, we have just released our podcasting website, the Bible Truth Revealed podcast, at jawpodcast.com, JAW, which stands for just a word, podcast.com. There you will find our audio clips, our audio where you can search for them by search terms, and you can listen to whatever we have produced over the years. That is our intent, all right? So let's begin. A famine of the word and the simple, fools, mockers, and believers. So we are looking to the end of days when it is promised that there will be a famine of the word. And we will approach this differently in that we will look at a famine of the word later on. We'll just be looking firstly at the simple, the fools, the mockers or scorners and believers. But let's first lay a foundation. And the foundation is that judgment begins with the people of the Most High. Judgment begins with the people of the Most High. For that, we go to 1 Peter 4, verse 17. You can't see it. Oh, it's too small. All right, go ahead.
For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Elua. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the good news of Elua?
So we see the salvation is obedience to the good news of Elua. Salvation is not to the obedience of a religion. It is not to the obedience of a person, of a man. It is to the obedience of the good news of Elua. Continue verse 18.
And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?
So the righteous are scarcely saved. This is something that we want to look at for the end time. This is why we put the believers along with the mockers and the scorners. The righteous will scarcely be saved. Verse 19.
Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of Elua commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing, as unto a faithful creator.
All right, this is something now that we have to look at. Wherefore let them that suffer according to the will of Elua. So it is according to the will of Elua that we suffer. Right, owner? It is according to the will of Elua that we suffer. I know you don't like to hear that one. Yes? But it says, let those who suffer according to the will of Elua commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing as unto a faithful creator. So our lives as believers is suffering, but we commit our souls to him in well-doing. So while we are going through our suffering, right, Menzi? While we're going through our suffering, we are to commit our souls to Him. So we have to be willing to go through this suffering, committing our souls to Him. And this is how we are saved. Why? Because our righteousness does not save us. It is His righteousness. So we commit ourselves in His hand, in His righteousness, to let Him use us. And when He uses us and we continue in well-doing while we are being used, that is our salvation. Let's go to the book of Psalms 37, verse 39 to 40 to back this up.
But the salvation of the righteous is of Yahuwah.
All right? Our salvation is of Yahuwah. It is not of ourselves. Continue.
He is their strength in the time of trouble.
So it is His will that we suffer, and while we are suffering and we commit our souls to Him, He will be our strength in the times of trouble. This is how the process works. Verse 40.
And Yahuwah shall help them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them, because they trust in Him.
You see those words? You see how it works? He makes us suffer, but we have to be willing to go through it. When we go through it, He will come to help us and to deliver us because we trust in Him. That's the process of our salvation. These are the people in the end time who will be delivered. We cannot live a life of comfort. We cannot live a life of comfort and then be ushered into the kingdom. No, we have to commit our souls to Him. Commit our souls to Him means that, when you hear some people, some artists in the world, they say that they have sold their souls to the devil. Isn't that so? We have to also sell ourselves to Yahuwah. It's the same thing. We have to sell ourselves to Him, commit our souls to Him in well-doing. 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9. 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9 to back this up.
And He said unto me, My favor is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather splendor in my infirmities, than the power of Hamashiach may rest upon me.
That the power of Hamashiach may rest upon me. So here it is now. My strength is made perfect in weakness. That is why we have to suffer. When we suffer, we are weak. When we commit ourselves to Him, it means we are weak. We have given up on this self. It is no more self that is doing it, but it is our hopelessness and our trust in Him. And then He will come in through His Ruach and He will lead us into the path that we should go, into the path of salvation. My strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather exalt in my infirmities, that the power of Hamashiach may rest upon me. So when we are weak, that is when the power of Hamashiach is magnified in us. So it is a competition of powers. If we are strong, then Hamashiach cannot be strong in us. If we are weak, then He will be strong in us. His strength is made perfect in our weakness. All right, so we remember the bottom line, we're looking at the end time famine of the word. We're laying a foundation of different types of believers to see how and what will happen in the end time. All right, in the end of the age. All right, so we also know this, and we say it all the while. Emunah, or faith, comes from hearing His word. Let me get this thing back on. Faith comes from hearing His word. And for that, we go to the book of Romans 10, verses 1 to 21. Romans 10, verses 1 to 21. People, I might have to be going fast because power is going away at 6 and we're trying to finish before that. So if you see me going fast, Romans 10, verse 1 to 21.
Brethren,
if I'm losing you, please stop me. Go ahead.
Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to Eluah for Yasharal is that they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of Eluah, but not according to knowledge. For they, being ignorant of Eluah's righteousness, and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of Eluah.
All right, you're seeing where we're coming from when we says it is His will that we suffer. Not establishing our own righteousness. we cannot be ignorant of Yahuwah's righteousness. Yahuwah's righteousness is that we are helpless and hopeless and are weak before him so that he can be our strength. So these religious people go about setting up their own righteousness. That is why we were talking a while ago and we were saying that they're saying that if you enter the kingdom with tithing. Oh, it went again? You pay your tithe. What was that, Leboni? Paying tithes. You pay your 10% and you're good for the kingdom.
That's the admission fee.
Huh? That's the admission fee. So, being ignorant of Alua's righteousness, they went about to set up their own righteousness because they have not submitted to the righteousness of Alua. The righteousness of Alua is very demanding of us because what it requires that this physical being becomes spiritual. And for this being to become spiritual, this being has to be torn down. It has to be made to be naught. And that is why when you come to serve Yahuwah, temptation comes up, and trouble, and trial, and problems, and money problems, and this problems, and family problems. Because you are being brought down so that you are weak. Very simple. Verse 4.
For Hamashiach is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone that believeth.
So Hamashiach is the end of the law. The end there means the point aimed at. The law was created to culminate in the magnification of the law, which is Yahushua Hamashiach. In Isaiah 42:21, it says, Yahuwah is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He shall magnify the law and make it honorable. So the law was created so that when the one who is to magnify the law would come, that would be the aim that the law is aiming at. And that is the righteousness of Alua to everyone that believes. That is why Shaul says, if you believe in Yahushua Mashiach, you shall be saved. He is the point aimed at. Verse 5.
For Moses describeth the righteousness which is of the law, that the man which doeth those things shall live by them. But the righteousness which is of faith speaketh on this wise. Say not in thine heart, who shall ascend into heaven, that is to bring Hamashiach down from above, or who shall descend into the deep, that is to bring up Hamashiach again from the dead.
Yes.
But what said it? The word is nigh thee, even in thy mouth and in thy heart. That is the word of faith which we preach.
All right, so it's not doing any physical thing. It's not paying your 10%. It is believing in Hamashiach, the word of Emunah, the word of faith. That is what the word that we preach. Verse 9.
That if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Master Yahusha, and shalt believe in thine heart that Elua has raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. All
right, so you shall be saved from your sins, but this is just the beginning, because he that endureth to the end shall be saved. So you are saved from your sins when you believe in Yahushua HaMashiach, but then you have to endure and overcome in the end to be saved, to be redeemed when he returns. Okay? Because we can say we are saved now when we go back into sin, and the word says, the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of Elua. Verse 10.
For with the heart man believeth unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation. For the scripture says, whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed. For there is no difference between the Jew and the Greek, for the same master over all is rich unto all that call upon him.
And the Greek here is the word Helen, which means a Greek-speaking person, which also refers to the children of Israel who were scattered among the Greeks as well. Verse 13.
For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Master shall be saved.
In the name of Yahuwah shall be saved. This comes from the book of Joel. Now hear this now. Whosoever shall call upon the name of Yahuwah shall be saved. We are going to show you here the famine of the word. Why they are going to have a famine of the word. Satan and his people, the children of Edom, they know the word, they know the scriptures. They know that in the end there is going to come a time when the Most High's salvation is going to be there. They are going to ensure that this word cannot go out. Because verse 14 tells you,
How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher?
So if you get rid of the preacher, look at verse 14. If you get rid of the preacher, if you get rid of the word, how can they hear and how can they believe? It is impossible. Read 14 again, please.
How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher?
If you remove the preacher, if you remove the word, then they will not believe. You would have them, and they cannot hear the word. What we have in this end time, we have a rush in this end time for the word to go out. There is a very narrow window, a very narrow time until the famine of the word comes. And before our very eyes, these wicked of this earth, they are engineering a famine of the word. That is why we were not on YouTube last week, because we said something that they didn't want us to say. And that is how they're going to lock us down. They are going to ensure that those people who they don't want to speak, those people who are speaking the truth, are silenced. So the people who now are to hear the word cannot hear the word. Most of the content today is consumed, of the truth is consumed on YouTube. Most of the truth is on YouTube. That is where, and on social media, by the way, and that is where they are going to lock down the entire word. All right, verse 15.
And how shall they preach except they be sent?
Oh, hold on there. So you see the chain. A famine of the word does not mean people are not going to hear the word. It is that they are not going to hear the truth. So they will hear from those who have not been sent. So they will hear the Christians who speak exactly what they want to speak, what the wicked want them to speak. But they will not hear the people who are speaking the truth, those who are sent. How then shall they call on him whom they have not believed? No, verse 15. And how shall they preach except they be sent? So those who are sent, they're going to silence them. Verse 15.
And how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the good news of peace and bring glad tidings of good things.
Mm-hmm.
But they have not all obeyed the good news. For Isaiah said, Master, Yahusha, who has believed our report?
Yahuwah, who has believed our report. So what it's going to tell you now, it is that in the end, it is a remnant, a small remnant of Israelites who will remain a part of the remnant. Small. So we have a battle, a race on now to get the word out to the people as soon as possible until it is almost impossible for the word to go out. Okay? Continue.
So then, faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of Eluah.
So remember, in Hebrews 11 verse 6, what does it say? Without faith, without emanah, it is impossible to please Yahuwah. So if faith comes from hearing and hearing by the word of Eluah, and they make sure that you cannot hear the word of Yahuwah, how can you please Yahuwah? You will not be able to have faith. So that's why these people are going to lock down. We're going to have a famine of the word. All the people are speaking the truth. How many people have been speaking the truth and they have been banned? So many people banned over and over again from this channel, the thing that we're on. And when they ban them from it, they go somewhere else. Then you hear that someone took over that place, and then pretty soon it's going to be closed off. It is a narrow window of hearing the truth. Continue, please.
But I say, have they not heard? Yes, truly, their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the world.
Now, how does the words go unto the end of the world today? To the internet. We have an awakening, and the word has gone out all over. I don't know about this side of the world, but over there in the West, it has been saturated. Almost everybody over that side know about the awakening, who the children of Israel are, this and that and that. But guess what? Many have rejected it because they prefer the system that they are in. They prefer to worship God. Verse 19.
But I say, did not Yasharal know? First Moses said, I will provoke you to jealousy by them that are no people, and by a foolish nation I will anger you. But Isaiah is very bold and said, I was found of them that sought me not. I was made manifest unto them that ask not after me.
But to
Yasharal he said, all day long I have stretched forth my hands unto a disobedient and gainsaying people.
All right. I wonder if this is the right verse that did we reach a part where he spoke about Baal? Huh?
Not in this passage.
Romans 11 verse Romans 11 verse verse 4.
But what saith the answer of Elua unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal.
Verse 5.
Even so then, at this present time also, there is a remnant according to the election of favor.
So there's a small remnant according to the election of favor that is left. And that is what's going to happen again in this end time. A small remnant of people. So, emunah, our faith, comes from hearing the word. If we remain rebellious and will not hear the word, because the word has gone out, as it says, if we remain rebellious and will not hear the word, then let's go to Isaiah 30, verses 8 to 21. Many of us have heard the word. Many of us remain rebellious. We don't want to hear it. We run away from it. Isaiah 30, verse 8 to 21.
Now go, write it before them in a table and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come forever and ever, that this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of Yahuwah.
That's it. Children who will not hear the law of Yahuwah. That is why our people are happy, comfortable in Christianity. Christianity says, do not hear the law. In the end time, these rebellious people lying. So if we are Christians, it is telling us that we are rebellious and we are lying children, because we will not hear the law of Yahuwah. Verse 10.
Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceit.
Now, when you come and listen to us here, it is really hard. It is hard. The word that we speak, it is hard. The Christian man does not want to hear these hard things. He wants to hear smooth things. He wants to hear, what does the Christian pastor say? This year is your year. Sow a seed and you will be blessed. And what are the things that they say, Armstrong? I don't remember them. It was such a long time ago. But it is good things, right? When you go to the Christian churches, it's good and you chat and you laugh and you're happy and you leave, and it's about materialism and all of that. Smooth things. Prophesy deceits. So whether there was a song when I was young, it says, tell me a lie. I don't know if anyone knows that old song. Tell me a lie. So they actually are willing to hear lies as long as it sounds good to them. Verse 11.
Get you out of the way. Turn aside out of the path. Cause the Kadesh one of Yasharal to cease from before us.
We don't want to hear Yahuwah. We want to hear God. Because when God speaks, it is okay. God, you do anything. He's a God of love. That's it. We don't want to hear Yahuwah, the one who calls us accountable. The one whose will is that we suffer. I don't want to hear from him. Yes? I've heard people tell me already, I don't want to know your God. I don't I don't want to know him. If he does this and he does this, I don't want to hear anything from him. Verse 12.
Wherefore thus says the Kadosh one of Yasharal, because ye despise this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon, therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant.
So you trust in oppression and perverseness. You do not trust in the truth. And you decide to remain there. You stay thereon. Then everything is mounting up on you. It is like a breach ready to fall. So everything is building up, building up, building up unto our destruction. Verse 14.
And he shall break it as the breaking of the potter's vessel that is broken in pieces. He shall not spare, so that there shall not be found in the bursting of it a shed to take fire from the hearth, or to take water withal out of the pit.
So hear this now. The Most High is going to be sending his people, sending his word out. If we continue to trust in what we like to hear, the nice things, the Most High said it is like a breach ready to break out. It's going to keep building up until it explodes. And when it explodes, he will have no mercy upon you. That is why when it is time come for the famine of the word, the Most High would know that he will have no mercy on anyone, because his word has gone out through the ends of the earth. What are we going to do? Are we going to listen to it, or are we going to continue in our deception? Continue, please.
For thus says Yahuwah Eluah, the Kadosh one of Yasharal, in returning and rest shall ye be saved. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength, and ye would not.
All right, this reminds me of another verse in the book of Isaiah 28. Anyone of you remember it? Yazi? Amikai? George? We did this one evening. Isaiah 28. Returning and rest shall ye be saved, and you would not. In returning and rest means you turn back to Yahuwah, and then you will find rest in him. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 28, and we're going to be at about verse 12. This is why he gave us precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little, there a little, because it is there for our rest. It is for us to decide whether we want that rest or not. Read from verse 9, please.
Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breasts. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people, to whom he said, this is the rest, wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest.
That's it. Continue.
And this is the refreshing.
Yet they would not hear. That goes back with the Isaiah 30 that we were watching. This is the rest. So because he gave them the rest, and they do not want to hear, this is what happens. Verse 13. Remember, he gave us precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little, there a little, so that we can get understanding and to get knowledge. But if we do not want his rest, the very same precept upon precept that gave us understanding and knowledge will now destroy us. Verse 13.
Therefore, this
but Isaiah 28:13.
But the word of Yahuwah was unto them precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little, that they might go and fall backward and be broken and snared and taken.
So what is it saying? The people in the world who he's speaking to, who his word is going out to, if they do not want to hear the word of truth, the same word is going to destroy them. If they do not want to hear, the same word is going to destroy them. You know how many times we have been preaching and teaching to people. When the word gets hard, do you know what they do? They go and they take counsel. And they come and find their own understanding of the word. This is what it is talking about. If the word comes and you do not want to hear it, you go and take counsel against the word. The same precept is going to make you believe the counsel that you took. And we're going to look at that later on. He's going to make you believe the counsel that you took, and so that it destroys you. So if you do not have a heart to hear his words, you will find your own doctrines to destroy you. Very simple. Let's go back to the book of Isaiah chapter 30, verse 16.
But ye said, No, for we will flee upon horses. Therefore shall ye flee, and we will ride upon the swift. Therefore shall they that pursue you be swift.
So in other words, the Most High says, whichever way you plan to escape, the same way you plan to escape, the same will destroy you. So when you hear the word and you find your escape in something, that thing will destroy you. Anyway, let's go. Can leave that one. So, the Most High will leave a small remnant. And we looked at that already, good. We looked at the 7,000 who have not bowed the knees to Baal to show that it will be a small remnant. But let's look at the fact that he will not call us forever. It's a very limited time, as I said earlier, that he will call us in this awakening. Isaiah 66 verse 3 to 5. We know Isaiah 66 is the last chapter, so we know it refers to the end of age, the end time. Read it, please.
He that killeth an ox is as if he slew a man. He that sacrificeth a lamb, as if he cut off a dog's neck. He that offereth an oblation, as if he offered swine's blood. He that burneth incense, as if he blessed an idol.
He's speaking about when he will be rejecting his offerings from his people who are in sin. Continue.
Yea, they have chosen their own ways, and their soul delighteth in their abominations.
Again, we see here they have chosen their own ways, not the ways of Yahuwah. This is a constant from we have begun. We have chosen our own righteousness, our own ways. We have to choose the way of Yahuwah. And as we were saying earlier, we were having a discussion earlier, and we said the same thing. That is not the ways of man that we choose. It has to be the way of Yahuwah, or else it will be our own ways, and it is destruction for bringing our own ways. That is why religion is wicked. That is why religion deceives us, and religion will make us perish. Because religion is our own ways, or the ways that has been set to us by man. Continue, please.
I also will choose their delusions.
So hear this now. Delusions is deception. So if they delight in their abominations, choosing their own ways, the Most High says he will choose their deception. He will choose what deceives you. Read, please.
I also will choose their delusions, and will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before mine eyes, and chose that in which I delighted not.
So in this end time now, when the Most High is calling and they are not answering, when he speaks and they are not hearing, he is going to choose their deception. You have to know who is speaking the word of truth, and you have to listen and follow the word of truth. Otherwise, you will be following a deception. Verse 5.
Hear the word of Yahuwah, ye that tremble at his word. Your brethren that hated you, that cast you out for my name's sake, said, Let Yahuwah be magnified, but he shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed.
So it's telling us to the very end that we will be suffering, we will be despised by those who reject the word of Yahuwah. Okay? And we mentioned this earlier again. God worshippers also have a limited time. People who worship God are in trouble. Isaiah 65 verses 11 to 16. We've done this a couple times. You have to fit it in. Isaiah 65 verse 11 to 16. Again, near the end of the book of Isaiah, he's telling you that the people who worship God are going to be punished. Isaiah 65 verse 11.
But ye are they that forsake Yahuwah, that forget my Kodesh mountain, that prepare a table for that troop, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number.
All right, so that verse, it is hidden and veiled in that verse that those who worship that troop, if you look to the meaning of that troop, it is H1409, it is God. From H1464 in the sense of distributing fortune or troop. God is fortune as an idol, the god of luck or chance. In the end time, the whole world will be worshiping God, because that is the mighty one that we have been given in Christianity to worship, and in other religions, they worship God. Now he's telling you, those that forsake Yahuwah, that forget my holy mountain. How do the God worshippers forget his holy mountain of Zion? They forget Zion. They have nothing to do with Israel. Israel doesn't matter anymore. And they say that they are going to be raptured. So we are looking to go back to Zion. They have nothing to do with Zion. They forsake Zion and instead are looking to be raptured by Jesus Christ. So having forsaken Zion, the Most High says in verse 12,
Therefore will I number you to the sword, and you shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not.
So the Most High spake. And how did he speak? He spoke through us, through believers who come and turn to the people. The Most High's name is not G-O-D. He is not G-O-D. Let me show you Yahuwah. Yahuwah is different from G-O-D. I know personally I've been doing this on social media for years. Did many videos on it. Many videos, many writings about G-O-D and all of that. Many people have heard, but they continue to worship G-O-D. Verse 13.
Therefore thus says Yahuwah Eluah, Behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed.
Verse 14.
Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of ruach.
So you see, nothing good is coming for the God worshippers. Verse 15.
And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen, for Yahuwah Eluah shall slay thee and call his servants by another name.
These are the people who worship God. What verse 16 says?
But he who blesseth himself in the earth shall bless himself in the Eluah of truth.
All right, so why does he say Barak himself in the Eluah of truth? Why does he use truth here? Because he knows that God will be a deception. That's why it says, who Barak himself in the earth shall Barak himself in the Eluah of truth, not in the Eluah of lies, because God is a lie that has been given to the world through Christianity. And he that sweareth,
and he that sweareth in the earth shall swear by the Eluah of truth, because the former troubles are forgotten, and because they are hid from mine eyes.
All right. So now we have that foundation, timing, or we have before, we have good time. All right. So in the meantime, though, through all of this is happening, and this is why we are not going to have any excuse. Throughout all of this that is happening, guess what? Wisdom is there seeking our attention, trying her best to get us to pay attention to her. Throughout all of this, wisdom is crying out to us. Wisdom of Solomon 6, verse 10 to 20. Throughout all of this, the God thing, everything, wisdom is there crying, listen to me, pay attention. Listen to me, hear my voice, hear the truth. Where am I?
Wisdom 6, verse 10.
10. Wisdom of Solomon 6, verse 10. Read it, please.
For they that keep holiness holily shall be judged holy, And they that have learned such things shall find what to answer.
So when we are in perfection, we will be judged holy. And we who have learned the way of righteousness, who have listened to wisdom, shall find what to answer whomever comes to ask us. Verse 11.
Wherefore, set your affection upon my words. Desire them, and ye shall be instructed.
So we have to have a desire for wisdom. This is wisdom speaking. We have to set our affection upon the words of wisdom. Desire wisdom, and the Most High will instruct you through wisdom. Continue.
Wisdom is splendorous, and never fadeth away. Yea, she is easily seen of them that love her, and found of such as seek her.
You see why in the end time we won't have any excuse. Wisdom is easily seen of them that love her. So as long as you love wisdom, you will easily get it. And found of such as seek her. So when we are going to be judged in the end, we are going to be judged that, but wisdom was there waiting for you, begging, why didn't you seek her? Found of such as seek her. Continue.
She preventeth them that desire her, in making herself first known unto them.
But this is even worse. So when you desire her, wisdom comes before you. So as long even before you have the desire of wisdom, wisdom comes and say, here I am. So wisdom is not hiding. The word of truth is not hiding. It is there waiting for us. So those of us who are there, who are in our ignorance, we are in our ignorance because we want to be in ignorance. Wisdom is waiting on you. She prevented them that desire her in making herself first known unto them. Verse 14.
Whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his doors.
You see? Wisdom is... I said, boy, I want to know this. Wisdom is just there waiting on you. It's just waiting on us to find out. Verse 15.
To think therefore upon her is perfection of wisdom, and whoso watcheth for her shall quickly
be without care. So the Most High will take us in his arms when we watch for wisdom. Verse 16.
For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, showeth herself favourably unto them in the ways,
and meeteth them in every thought. Yazzie, wake up. Wake up. And meeteth them in every thought. That is how wisdom is there waiting on us. So she seeks those of us who are worthy of her, those who desire her, and she showeth herself unto them favorably in the ways. That means wherever we go, wisdom is there waiting for us. Verse 17.
For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love.
So here we have now the problem now. Who wants to be disciplined? That's where wisdom begins. If we are willing to be disciplined, to be transformed, that is why many people come in the way. They only hear a word or two and then they're gone. Why? They do not have the desire for discipline. We have to have the desire to be changed and the willingness to be transformed by the word of the Most High. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline. And the care of discipline is love. Now here's the chain. Continue. 18.
And love is the keeping of her laws, and the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption.
There we see the process, yeah? The beginning of her is the desire of wisdom, and the care of discipline is love. And as the word says, if you love me, keep the commandments. Then you will keep her laws, you will keep the commandments, and giving heed to the commandments, you will assure yourselves of being incorrupted. And verse 19 says,
and incorruption maketh us near unto a lure.
So that's the process. We desire discipline, love comes out, and love manifests itself in the keeping of the laws. When we keep the laws, we become incorrupted. And when we become incorrupted, we come close to the Most High. Verse 20.
Therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom.
So this is why we are not have no excuse. We have to desire wisdom. If we desire wisdom, it brings us to the kingdom. Very simple. But sadly, wisdom will not be there seeking our attention forever. Wisdom has a time. Yes? This is Ruach Hakadosh of discipline, wisdom, and will not wait on us every single day of our lives. Proverbs 1, verse 20 to 22, first of all. Yeah.
Wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge.
Wisdom is crying out, saying, How long? Notice where she cries. In the chief place of concourse, wherever people are. That's where wisdom is crying out. In the gates, that is where people meet to speak. Wisdom is there crying out and saying, How long? How long? Let's continue at verse 23. Proverbs 1:23.
Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my ruach unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called.
No, hold on. So wisdom is there telling you, turn at my reproof. My reproof is my correction. Turn when I correct you. So in the end time now, when we are being corrected, wisdom is saying, turn, please, please turn at my reproof. I will make my words known unto you. But as we said, wisdom will not be there crying after us forever. Because verse 24 says,
Because I have called, and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof.
Therefore,
I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you.
You see? Because wisdom has called and we refused. You have set at naught all my counsels. So when the Most High sends people to speak with us, we bring it to naught. All that the persons have told us have fallen on deaf ears. Most High says, when you are in trouble, when you are in calamity, he will laugh at you. He will mock when fear comes upon you. When fear comes as a desolation, as destruction, and your destruction comes as a whirlwind, he will laugh at you. But then, when he was speaking, you did not hear. So when the trouble comes upon you and you call upon him, verse 28 says,
Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge, and did not choose the fear of Yahuwah. They would none of my counsel, they despised all my reproof.
Therefore
shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices.
All right, so you hear that? They did not choose the fear of Yahuwah. So when Yahuwah, why is this thing get so? Oh, so when Yahuwah speaks his word, we should have a fear of Yahuwah that leads us into action. But we did not choose the fear of Yahuwah. Hold on, let me get this thing. We did not choose the fear of Yahuwah. And because of that, the Most High will be angry. And he says that we will be filled with the fruit. They will eat the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. So when he was speaking and showing us how to walk, we decide that we are going to walk in our own way. And when we walk in our own way, then whatever we decide to walk in, that is the way that will destroy us. Verse 32.
For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them.
33.
But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil.
So the simple will turn away, and fools will be prosperous and don't want to hear the word. But who hearken unto him shall dwell safely and be quiet from fear of evil. So good things for the people who hear him, and bad for those who don't. Now he speaks about the simple. The simple is a very interesting set of people. All of us were simple at some point in our lives. That is why the religion of Christianity was able to snatch us up, because we were simple. Simple means, actually, let me get the meaning. Simple comes from the Hebrew word petty, which actually reminds us of the English word petty. Yeah. Definition from H6601, silly. That is seducible. Seducible. This is why we were seduced in Christianity. All of us, most of us, were seduced in Christianity because we were simple. Simple means easily seduced. Anyone can easily come to us and tell us anything, and we believe. And that is why when we are speaking with anyone, we don't speak our words, we speak precept upon precept, we speak the words of the Most High. Because we know that people can come and just tell you whatever you want to believe. Many people will just believe just that. We have to prove the word to be true. Seducible, foolish, simple, simplicity, simple one. So Proverbs 22:3, the simple will easily be deceived. Proverbs 22:3.
A prudent man foreseeth the evil, and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished.
You see? The prudent man will foresee the evil, because the prudent man will go about proving all things, holding fast that which is good. I dare say this is why many people took the mark of the beast, because it is the simple who were easily seduced. So being simple, they pass on, they just go and they just live. While we were there examining everything and trying to tell people of the dangers, the simple just said, it doesn't matter. They just pass on and are deceived and are punished. Romans 16 verse 17. Romans 16:17.
Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offences contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. For they that are such serve not the Master Yahushua HaMashiach, but their own belly, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple.
By good words and fair speeches, they deceive the hearts of the simple. The simple are easily deceived. And this, of course, is about religion, causing divisions. And this is how you have churches splitting up, people going about setting up their own thing. And with good words and fair speeches, they deceive the simple, get them in their religion, and having them now tithes and offering to them, building them up and making them money. Simple are easily deceived. But let us look at the woman who will easily deceive the simple, and the woman who has deceived over 2.8 billion people all over this world. The woman from Revelation 17 verses 1 to 6. This is the woman that has deceived the simple. Revelation 17 1 to 6.
And there came one of the angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
The great whore, the great prostitute that sits upon many waters. Many waters there means many nations. Verse 2.
With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
As we were saying earlier, the kings of the earth have committed fornication, idolatry, because, as we were saying earlier, this religion is actually paid to deceive the people. The pastors of this religion, they do not pay taxes. They are tax-free. All their earnings, no matter what they earn, it is tax-free. That is their payment from the kings of the earth to allow the king of the earth, to commit fornication, to commit idolatry, and to rule the people as they wish. Verse 3.
So he carried me away in the Ruach into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-coloured beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
All right, the scarlet-colored beast there refers to the red-flagged nations of the earth. If you look at the earth, almost the entire earth is covered with red-flagged nations. And we did several teachings on this about the flags, the ensigns, Psalm 74:4, that they show their ensigns for signs. These red flag nations, the woman sits atop them, which means the woman leads them. And the religion of Christianity that this is speaking about actually rules the entire world itself, as it rules the leaders of the world and to the papacy, etc. Verse 4.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet colour, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. All
right, this is a verse that tells you that it is Catholicism. The purple worn by the bishops and the scarlet worn by the cardinals. And they are decked in gold and precious stones and pearls. And in their worship, they have that golden cup in their hand. This is the Catholicism. But verse 5 tells you that it is not only Catholicism, it is also the daughters of the Catholics. Verse 5.
And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
So this Roman Catholicism is the mother of harlots, which means there are other harlots. And these harlots are the other denominations of Christianity. So Catholicism sits atop, and Catholicism gave us so many things. Many Protestants don't know that almost everything that they got it from Catholicism. They got the name Jesus in the Lord. They got the Trinity. They got communion. They got the cross. They got, tell me some more. They got Jesus is God. They got so many. So many. I think I had 20 out of them that they got from Catholicism. So there is no difference. Catholics are the mother of harlots. So we're going to see how the woman, let's look at the woman in action against the simple. You know where I'm going, Amikai? The woman in action, this woman that we're talking about, this harlot, let's look at it in action against the simple. Proverbs 7, verse 1 to 27. Proverbs 7, verse 1.
My son, keep my words and lay up my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live, and my law as the apple of thine eye.
So hear this now. The law is the precaution. Let us understand something. The law is our insurance against being simple. Without the law, we are simple. Without the law, we are simple. The law ensures that we are not simple. Continue, please.
Bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thine heart. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman.
So when you have the law, you will have wisdom and you will have understanding. And therefore, you will not be simple. So when you have wisdom and understanding, when you have the law, verse 5 says,
that they may keep thee from the strange woman, from the stranger which flattereth with her words.
So this now, I want you to look at this. This is Christianity, the stranger that comes and flatters with her words. Verse 6.
For at the window of my house I looked through my casement, and beheld among the simple ones, I discerned among the youths, a young man void of understanding.
Okay. So who does Christianity catch? Those who are void of understanding. These are the people who Christianity catches. We have no understanding. We have no knowledge of the Most High's laws. That's why I said all of us were simple at one point. And because we have no understanding, bam, they just caught us. They gave us this white God, this white man, put this white man on a picture, gave us this white God, hey, this is God, this is this and that. And we didn't even look at it and said, look at our history and said, but you have done us nothing but evil throughout life. Look how evil you are. Look how much evil you have done over the world. And you want me to worship you. Look what you have done to our people. Even us over that side of the world. Look what they did to us in slavery. Look at the atrocities that they did to us in slavery. And then they came and gave us this religion, telling us that they are righteous. And we didn't even question it. We just took it. Why? Because we were simple. It doesn't make these people just come and just give you this foolishness. Hey, just take it. Because you are simple. Anyway, verse 8.
Passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house.
All right, he went to the church. Verse 9.
In the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot, and subtle of heart.
Attire of what?
An harlot.
What did you read in Revelation 17? Babylon the Great, the mother of... Okay. All right, let's continue.
She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house.
She is what?
Loud and stubborn.
When you go to the church, hey, the amount of noise that you hear. Yeah? And stubborn, because she will not change her ways. Verse 12. And her feet abide not in her house. They do not remain in their houses. They go out with missionaries. And they go and bring people into their houses. Continue.
Now is she without, now in the streets, and lieth in wait at every
corner. If you go to even my small town where I am from, every corner there is a church lying in wait. Every corner. Yes, wherever the children of Israel are, this is where they put the churches. If you go into Black America, everywhere you have churches. This harlot waiting on every corner to snare our people. Now is she without, now in the streets and light in wait at every corner. They put out their tents. And what do they call? They have their whatever they call. What do they call it? Huh? Crusades. The crusades is to bring in the harlot, bringing in more people, pulling in more people. Crusade. And what was the name crusade originally? It was not a good name. Because when they had crusades, they came with guns and whatever they call them, weapons to conquer people and swords. And Christians still having crusades. Verse 13.
So she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face said unto him, I have peace offerings with me. This day hours. Therefore came I forth to meet thee, diligently to seek thy face, and I have found thee.
When you go to these Christian churches, they come to you and they seduce you. They find every sort of way to get you there. If you come and you don't come back another week, they go and they find you. Sometimes they come and they take your number and they hound you. They are seducing you. Just like how this harlot is seducing this man. That is how they seduce us. Verse 16.
I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry, with carved works, with fine linen of Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love until the morning. Let us solace ourselves with loves.
For
the good man is not at home. He is gone on a long journey.
So who is this good man now? This good man is not at home. Who is he speaking about?
Truck driver.
No, it's Yahushua HaMashiach. Yeah, the good man is not at home. He is gone on a long journey. Yahusha is not here, so I can seduce you before he comes.
Uh-oh.
He's gone on a long journey. He had taken, He had
taken a bag of money with him.
What did HaMashiach say? He will be coming to do what? To give a reward to every man. This is HaMashiach that is speaking about. He had taken a long bag of money with him and will come home when? When will he come home?
At the day appointed.
The day appointed. So this is telling you that the church is taking opportunity while HaMashiach is not here to seduce the children of Israel. Verse 21. Yes. Yes. Verse 21.
With her much fair speech, she caused him to yield. With the flattering of her lips, she forced him.
So anytime we break in Christianity, they got us. They got us. Read the next verse.
He goeth after her straight away, as an ox goeth to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks.
That is why anytime I hear, when I'm on Facebook and I see any social media and I see people say they have become Christians, I am so sad. Because they have them, and when they have them, you cannot reach them. No, you can't reach them. Because as long as they have them, they have them. As a fool to the correction of the stocks. Verse 23.
Till a dart strike through his liver, as a bird hasteth to the snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life.
When they got you, they got your soul. It is the mother of harlots. When they got you in Christianity, they got your soul. So when I come to Christianity, you bolt and you go into it, not knowing that they have your soul. Continue.
Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. Let not thine heart decline to her ways.
Go not astray in her paths. Stay away from Christianity. Stay away from the lies of this religion. Verse 26.
For she hath cast down many wounded, yea, many strong men have been slain by her.
No, read this now. Read this verse now.
Her house
is the way to hell.
Going down to the chambers of death.
Wow. Yeah, it's spiritual. Your house is the way to hell. So this is what they do to the simple. The simple are the helpless ones who just are so naive, as they say in this world. This is who Christianity, and this is why Christianity has been able to colonize everywhere they go. The simple. They just put their thing to the simple. And what they do too, it is our scripture that they took. So it is so convincing because they use our scripture and bring it together so nicely. It seems to be true. But when you prove all things and hold fast that which is good, and when the Ruach leads you into all truth, then all the lies are revealed. So that is the simple. That is the simple. Guess what, though? The Most High has mercy for the simple. That's the good news. Mercy for the simple. He will help the simple out of their simplicity. And that is what has happened to us, isn't it? We were in Christianity and the Most High helped us. And how did we get helped out? The first thing we knew when we came out, that we must obey the law. That is what helps you out of your simplicity. So rejecting the law keeps you simple. And that is why they are able to continue to deceive people in Christianity, because they have convinced people to reject the law. Psalm 19 verse 7. We're going to show that the law is what takes us out of simplicity. Psalm 19 verse 7.
The law of Yahuwah is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of Yahuwah is sure, making wise the simple.
So the law converts the soul from the way of death, from the way of simplicity, and along with the testimony, it makes the simple to be wise. That is why it says in Isaiah 8 verse 20. What does it say in Isaiah 8 verse 20? Amikai, Isaiah 8:20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. So as long as they are speaking according to the law and the testimony, you will be in the light and you will be wise and not be simple. Without the law, we remain simple. So we said the Most High helps the simple. Wisdom is actually crying out to the simple. Wisdom does not ignore the simple. Wisdom keeps crying out to the simple. Proverbs 9 verse 1.
Wisdom hath builded her house. She hath hewn out her 7 pillars.
So guess what now? You see, just like in Proverbs 7, this harlot is going after the young man. It is the same way wisdom goes after the simple. So it is, who are we going to beckon to? Both of them are calling to us. Who are we going to listen to? Proverbs 9 verse 2.
She hath killed her beasts. She hath mingled her wine. She hath also furnished her table.
So when we drink mingled wine, what does that make us? Easily drunk, right? Mm-hmm. So wisdom herself is trying to get us intoxicated in her wisdom. You see it? So Proverbs 7 is the harlot. Proverbs 9 now, wisdom at work. Verse 3.
She hath sent forth her maidens. She crieth upon the highest places of the city. Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither.
Same thing.
As for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, Come, eat of my bread and drink of the wine which I have mingled.
Forsake the foolish.
Forsake the foolish and live, and go in the way of understanding.
So you see, wisdom doing the same thing. So those of us who are simple, we have no excuse, because wisdom has presented herself to us, just as how this harlot has presented herself to us. So what about the fool? Because it says, how long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity? Or scorners delight in their scorning, or fools hate knowledge. What about the fool? The word fool there is from the Hebrew word kasil, which means properly fat, that is figuratively stupid or silly, foolish. Proverbs 1 verse 7. Let's see about the fool.
The fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction.
The fool will despise wisdom and instruction. Now, when we are understanding these things, it is an understanding of people to whom we are ministering. We have to know who is simple, we have to know who is a fool, and we have to know who is a mocker. When we know these things, we know how to approach people, we know how much time to spend with them, we will know how we can reach them and how to get them. Because if we are ministering to a simple person, it is different from ministering to a fool. It is different from ministering to a mocker. You will spend your whole time with a fool or your whole time with a mocker and never reach anywhere. The mocker will just take you into his ways and weave you and make fun of you. That's the mocker. The fool, he doesn't even care about what you are saying. So the fool despises wisdom and instruction. And if he despises wisdom and instruction, how are you going to give him wisdom? It's just a waste of your time. Proverbs 10:21.
The lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for want of wisdom.
So the fool is going to be so stupid, he doesn't even have any wisdom at all. Proverbs 12:23.
A prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaimeth foolishness.
So they will only be there talking nothing but foolishness. Nothing but foolishness. And one thing about fools is that because they lack wisdom and they despise instruction, there is nothing you can do to change them in certain situations. Now, when I think about the fools and all of these people, it always takes me back to the time of the pandemic that they had. You spoke with the fools and you identified with fools. They don't want to hear anything. The simple ones are easily led away. It was really a task. And then the mockers are even worse. They just keep mocking you. Oh, foolishness. Everything is the mark of the beast. Everything is this. Those were the mockers. Now, a very important thing about fools is that they do not consider the evil that they do. So when you're ministering to a fool, you cannot even come along that person to touch their conscience because they have no conscience for what they do. A fool will be in sin and have no conscience of sin whatsoever. Ecclesiastes 5 verse 1.
Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of a lure, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil.
They consider not that they do evil. So how are you going to tell him that he needs to repent? The fool is going to laugh at you. Repent from what? Man, I'm good. I don't need to repent. Proverbs 14 verse 9.
Fools make a mock at sin, but among the righteous there is favor.
So they will even mock at sin. They will sin with impunity. That's the word I use. They will sin without a conscience. Proverbs 14:16. 16, yeah.
Proverbs 14.
16, yeah. It's the same 14.
A wise man feareth and departeth from evil, but the fool rageth and is confident.
Even in the fool will continue to rage on and to remain confident. Ecclesiastes 2 verse 14.
The wise man's eyes are in his head, and I myself perceived also that one event happeneth to them all.
So the fool does not care. And he will be wise in his own eyes. You see how it's going to be difficult to reason with a fool? If you come upon people and you see that they are fools, go Proverbs 12:15. You're going to be wasting your time ministering to these people. Go to somebody else. Proverbs 12:15.
The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise.
You see? The fool will be wise in his own eyes. So whenever you come to him, he's going to tell you, no, they're going to have their own philosophies and their own everything. Proverbs 23:9.
Speak not in the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of thy words.
So here, you see what I'm telling you? Speak not in the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of thy words. Don't waste your time trying to convert a fool. Don't waste your time. If you see someone that does not care about sin, despising wisdom and instruction, run away from them. If you see someone wise in their own eyes, run away from them. Someone who doesn't care about sin, run away from them. Now what about... Yeah, go ahead. Huh? Proverbs 14:7. We did 14:9. Read 14:7, please.
Go from the presence of a foolish man, when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge.
All right. So if you see a man doesn't have any knowledge at all and still is mocking, and still is rejecting and doesn't want to hear, you leave him alone. Leave him alone. So what about the scorner now? The word scorner there, from the Hebrew word lutz, properly to make mouths at, that is to scoff, hence from the effort to pronounce a foreign language, to interpret or generally intercede. Ambassador, have in derision. Interpreter, make a mock, mocker, scorner, scornful, teacher. So these speaks of people who are scornful, who mock you, who will laugh at you, who will taunt. Now,